Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. It's the Tone Tailors Podcast, and this week I'm joined by another incredible guest. Give it up, round of applause in the comments for our new friend, Ethan Cutillo. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
Good, man, good. Just met via Zoom. I believe we're probably going to meet in person for the first time here in a few weeks. We'll get to it in a moment, but before we do... let's just introduce the people listening, who you are, what you do, why you do it, and why, what led us here today.
Okay, big questions. Okay. So hi, my name is Ethan. For those of you who do not know, I am right now posting a lot on social media, but I am a musician, a performer, and aspiring music producer.
Okay. And we're gonna break all those down. And now you said you're 18 now.
Mm-hmm.
When did the music bug bite you? Is it a 4-year-old drumming on the drum set Justin Bieber story recently? What's the history there?
Yeah, so the music bug I think bit me when I was probably like maybe around like 4. As much as when I can start talking, I think I started singing. And I've tried a lot of things in my life. I've done like obviously like going through all the sports and stuff like baseball, but I'd always find myself always resorting back to music. Like even I'd be in the outfield like humming a tune my mom showed me on the radio or something. Like I always feel like music's been a big part of my life. And then I joined a choir, which is really how I started using my voice more, and eventually it led to me going to a musical. I was asked to be like, they need a little kid for High School Musical, and that really got me into performance because after that it was like a whole chain of events to like pro acting and stuff. But I feel like that's when like the music bug hit me and the performance bug hit me, and it wasn't till like COVID hit, I think, that I was like something about rock performance and like that really drove my I think I've done a lot of gigs over that time, and I think that was something that, especially after COVID started like clearing up again, like I've done a lot of gigs, and it's just something that resonated with me so much. I was like, this is something I could see myself doing forever.
Yeah. So you're like me. You're an entertainer first, and it's that aspect of the music is what kind of drew you in. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's kind of where I started for sure.
So you, ever since you could talk, 2, 3, 4 years old, right? When were the parents like, okay, let's get him lessons, let's do this, do that, or was it kind of your own journey, or how did they kind of play a role in that with you?
Well, for sure, yeah. My parents, I think, are like some of the most supportive people in my life, and very encouraging of like what I want to do. Now they're not like musicians themselves, which I feel like that's always for people who start young. People always kind of like are like, my parents are musicians, or like my dad works at the London Academy of Music. My parents are not that,
okay,
but they did really like. My dad, I feel like, has always had an interest in music of like an enjoyer. Like my dad's always listened to the Beatles, showed me a lot of like classic rock when I was younger. But yeah, it was something that I always kind of my parents really always supported with what I wanted to do. Like if I was like, hey, there's this gig opportunity, like recently even there was this gig opportunity like 3 hours away, and I was like, are you cool with like me doing this? And they're like, of course. Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how my, it was this same thing. Was there ever did you ever have to like convince them like your first paid gig, or like where they were like, hey, like they didn't believe you had a show 3 hours away? Like, how'd you get booked for that? Who have you been talking to? Was there ever like any like kind of like doubt along the way where like you're taking a step forward in your career, but like the parents who are older don't understand that like, hey, I just talked to him on Facebook and he's paying me and I already got the PayPal for it. Like we can make money on our own now at 18 years old or even younger. So I'm curious if there's any like, I don't know, any personal stories of mom being like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did like when I was younger, I did a lot of touring, and that was like I think the biggest thing that kind of convinced them at first was like there's this national tour. It was a national tour of this show called The Sound of Music. I mean, The Sound of Music.
Yeah, yeah,
And
go.
it was one of the Von Trapplings. They needed a young kid who was like I think they were looking for people who were like not really trained. Like at the time I was like one of the only child actors, at least on that tour. I feel like that
Okay.
weren't like super like I never had an acting lesson or any of that. So
Okay.
they were looking for kids like that.
Okay.
And I think that's something that um like that was a big decision for us to make. Like, do we
That's
spend 8 months of our life once I got in, obviously I had to audition, which my parents
right.
did not think I'd but when I actually got to the tour, my parents were like, do we, switch our lives for 8 months where we're gonna have to like follow our kid on this,
Uh-huh.
musical tour? Like that was just something that was, and they ended up just like, yeah, we can switch off, and like it's 8 months, and once in a lifetime, like when do you get that?
And
When do the stars align like that?
that
Like
was and when was this kind of so
I was
you
like I was probably 10 or 11, I
okay.
think.
And
Yeah, no, 10 when I started.
was this like one of the first your toes in the water with like
For
acting,
sure.
performing? Okay.
So that was like more acting stuff. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
again, like I said, COVID and stuff. Like I joined a pro rock band for a little, and that was like a lot of, we had a lot of experiences together. So that was
Yeah.
something that, yeah,
Well,
definitely got me into it.
I'm curious about the tour. So Sound of Music, kind of theatrical thing. Was this like how many stops was it? You said 8 months, so like all over the
Yeah.
country? Did you leave the country? Like what was just go into that
Yeah.
experience, please.
So it was a national tour,
Yeah.
but technically international because it was, we went for like a week in Toronto at the very end. So like, that's
That counts.
enough to add. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'd say, yeah, it was national. And the hardest part I think of it was probably we had these things called one nighters. And it was like you'd be in a place for one night,
Yep.
and then you move, and then you move back, and then and it was always back to Texas for some reason. We'd be like in Texas, and then we'd go halfway across the country, and then it's just like, oh, another thing in Texas, and then come back.
Interesting. That's
But yeah, it's
interesting.
just something about Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was something that was very exciting. And I think after that, they were like, okay, this is something that we can do, and this is something that our kid doesn't suck at.
Did
So like,
you
something that
were
they
you getting paid for this? Was this a
Oh yeah,
okay?
for sure.
Okay, at 10 years old. And
Yeah, right.
then so what? Any other acting then after that? I guess so from 10 to 12 to 13 along those lines. Were
Yeah.
any
So I
fun?
did. Oh, sorry, no, continue. Sorry, the latency.
It's okay.
um, I I did some voice acting stuff
Okay.
at some point. I think COVID, it's funny because I feel like COVID was that switching point for me
Yeah.
from like acting and that to more of a music
Mm.
based, like this that kind of like switched my whole focus
S-
on that. Because before that is when I did like pro acting stuff. I did it was the tour, and then I did some voice acting, and I was in like a documentary film. They needed a kid in that. But I got a lot of auditions. Like I went through the whole like uh self-tape stuff, at home.
Impressive. Impressive. It's
Yeah, thank you.
interesting. Do you it's so that path is like it's such a like no one I don't it's just something that happens, but I don't know if people actually realize it happens with the young the kid actors. You start out acting 10, 12 years old, and then as soon as you get into your older teen years, now that you're 18, you're an adult, now you're doing music. It's the Miley Cyrus, the Disney Channel basically blueprint at this point, right?
Yeah.
You do a tour, you do a couple things, a voice actor, a show, whatever. And now you're a musician. It's a very interesting thing that we do in our society. Um, and so okay, so then over COVID, we start getting into music, we start performing, and rock is your genre.
Yeah, I'd say especially recently I've been like indie and alt rock,
Mm-hmm.
like in those categories specifically. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like obviously I've been we talk about later like more like writing and stuff like that, and like how I kind of take songwriting. But I I think, yeah, rock is something that I really do classic rock got me into like that, and I think that's just such a fun thing to perform. There's so much energy in it,
Yeah.
and it kind of like almost like theater. There's a lot of rock musicals.
Yeah, your Instagram page and everything that you've been posting recently, it's just very reminds me of our friend Bridget from Tone Tailors. She was on the pod. If you don't know Bridget, hopefully you'll meet her at the award show. And if you don't, we'll get you into Tone Tailors and link you guys up. You have a lot of the same energy. She does the guitar, the rock covers. She's yeah. You guys should totally. We'll get you guys collabing at some point in time here soon.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, it's what's, and that's just another kind of, you have this very, not to judge a book by its cover, but just kind of just even looking at you, and just from your age, you would think that you are totally like pop hits, like, those types of covers, K-pop, Demon Hunter, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is on the vice versa opposite end of that spectrum, you're doing things like U2, Van Halen, The Police, like bands that kids your age probably like not too many know about, right? Are your friends on that same wave? Is this like a new generation thing going back to like the old school rock? Some of them, yeah, okay,
yeah. I think it does depend. A lot of my musician friends, I think, do have a respect for the. Like, I have some musician friends that are like, they're a guitar player and they're just like, I don't listen to like anything past the 90s, But I mean, I'm not like that. I feel like I kind of look at everything. And yeah, I think even performing, I used to really like. I think performance is like a thing where you kind of got to appease to a lot of people, especially when you're doing covers, like in a band or anything, because people kind of want to hear everything. Yeah. So like you can't just, I mean, well, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But like in my mind, especially nowadays, at a gig, if I was going to put in a set like, like just classic rock or pop, right, I'd always choose both. I think like a little bit, and you can maybe make it, but whatever you cover, I think making it your own, yeah, and just kind of making it fun, but giving people in an audience the chance to hear all different types of music, I think is just because it like there might be somebody who loves the Police, and there might be somebody who despises the Police, but loves I don't know, Miley Cyrus. So doing a little bit of both keeps everyone happy.
No, and I mean, it's just, and you never, and that's kind of like it's what I'm discovering a little bit on this podcast, and especially just with just humans in general, is that you can never have that assumption about somebody. Like I literally just 3 episodes ago talking to our good friend John, one of the owners of Tone Tailors, and him and his wife are just diehard, will talk to you for 2 hours, Taylor Swift fans. But at the end of the day, he owns a guitar shop. He likes Fish. He likes rock. Like because it's the sound. He enjoys the sound. It's the art. The like you can't deny Taylor for who she is and what she's done and what she's accomplished. And that's like part of what he respects and likes about her. So it's just this. We live in a world where it's such a wide range of like especially now, like with one animated Netflix show, we now have the generations younger than you, sir. I just DJ'd a prom for 5-year-old preschoolers, and all they care about is K-pop, Demon Hunter, and the K-pop songs, and Golden, and all that, and Soda Pop, and it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. My friends from college back in like 2013, before half of your friends even existed, we were listening to K-pop that was like the title of the song was in Korean. We didn't know what the songs were called at that point in time. So it's like the generational shifts.
You didn't have Golden back then?
No Golden, no Golden. I don't even think BTS was around in like the 2013 era. So yeah, it's just this fascinating wave to see how music has changed, and I'm sure even you, especially younger, even from 10 to 18 now, in 8 years. I mean, you and your friends as musicians have now, even especially. I mean, let's just roll right into it. I always do, and I always will. I mean, are we using AI? Because this is now Like where's your stance on that? Because I've talked to people that are about 40 years older than you, and about people that are the same age, and some that fall in the middle, and you wouldn't believe their stances. So I'm
Yeah.
curious how you and your friends are utilizing in this new day of age that anything is possible. How are we utilizing that? Go.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think AI. That's definitely a heavy question because it's like I've definitely used it
Yep.
for school. It's like something that is a tool. Um, and I guess my personal opinion on AI is that it is scary. I don't doubt that it is scary, and I
Yeah.
think like even people who use it and like I think it is something that gives a lot of questions as to like when should people draw the line? Like when is this kind of but I think personally, I think using it as a tool
Yep.
is helpful. It's like um I don't know. I was gonna quote Einstein, but I don't even know it. There's like a thing. There's like a thing that I've heard before. Maybe it's Einstein. Maybe it's just maybe I come up with it right now. I don't
Yep.
know.
That's
But
fine.
it's something like where like you don't need to know all of the knowledge if you know how to use an encyclopedia. You know. So
Right.
it's
Right.
like
Right.
having AI.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes any.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah. No,
like
it's
having the knowledge. You know, if you need AI
yep.
like grab something or
Yeah.
like get some inspiration.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think when it starts replacing things that people do better or like trying to compete with people, I think that's where it starts getting like a little scary to me.
Mhm.
Like just creating full on songs and it's like whatever happened. Like and in my opinion, I mean, I wouldn't want to listen to. I don't support AI music whatsoever. Like total AI music where people just punch in a prompt and then that's the song.
Sure.
I think that's
Yeah.
terrible because it's
Well,
like
yeah.
literally the field of like what people like me and you and everyone else is for. Like
Yeah.
without somebody controlling the art, is it even art anymore? Like it's just
What is a
computer
photo?
programmed.
Right. What is a
Yeah.
photo if we can just magic erase a person in and out of it? Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's I think you kind of nailed it on the head, and it's what I've experienced with the artists that are using it and have or have dabbled in it or whatever that had been. It's I think it's currently and at its most respectful level being a hybrid model. Obviously, much like yourself, no one once we ever find out a song is 100% AI, you just did a little prompt and then boop, it's a song and you hit upload and that's it, it's done. Well, of course, I don't think any much of any musician or just anyone listening can have any self-respect for, oh, okay, maybe, yeah, great. If we know it's AI, cool. Oh, that sounds cool. A computer did it great. But at the end of the day, like we're not adding it to the playlist. And so that hybrid model I think is where we're going to see most of the industry go. I think it's still new to the point where most artists such as yourselves and even the older gens are like, yeah, okay, well we'll dabble in it. Maybe I'll let ChatGPT fill in the blanks of a lyric if I'm stuck or something along those lines. But most of the people I've talked to share that of opinion of like 100% Suno tracks, not really our jam. If we need a backtrack or like someone doesn't have a drummer or a guitarist for that part, yeah, cool. Maybe Suno will help us with that and like help us kind of create that. My vocals, my guitar, my riffs, my piano, but we don't have a drummer. And so we can put in our lyrics and the rest of our music. Suno gives us the drums and now we're ready for the stage. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's this and especially too, I don't know how official or any other details other than the fact that just talked to a guy last week. His name's Brandon Valentine,
Hmm.
and
I've met him. Yeah, he's a great guy.
yes, of course, yes. We discussed you a little bit. He's a part of like the Grammys and like they're now dealing with like, okay, we're gonna say like, cool, you got a hybrid track, you need to tell us which parts are AI, and if we then deem that that's okay, like 10, 20, 30%, fine, but like that upwards of 70 to 80 to 90% of the song has to be an artist, and we're gonna start accepting it. So I think once that floodgate kind of opens, it just kind of goes then back to right, the what is a photo? Do we take it all the way? But is T-Pain's auto tune AI technically? So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that kind of stuff, like what it, like T-Pain, like it's even Daft Punk using like auto tune. Like I
Oh,
think that's so sick because
yeah. It's like the
it's
number
Daft Punk. They're
one record of all time.
creative
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
geniuses. Exactly. It's just so I think as a tool, it's important. Like I writing lyrics, I use Rhyme Zone. Like
Okay.
I think that's like something that like it's not like off limits to do. Like, oh, I can't think of a rhyme for the word celery. So
Uh-huh.
like, like that kind of thing. I feel
Yeah.
like that's something that you could definitely use
Yeah.
research for, and
Yeah.
it's still creative,
Yeah. Yeah. Are you playing shows? Have you played anything recently? Any live?
Yeah. I feel like right now, I think I have plans to do more this summer.
Yeah.
I did play a show last week. Just a band needed a fill-in keyboardist, and it was a lot of fun actually. But yeah, just that kind of stuff it was so funny because they were texting and we were DMing about it, and they texted me like the set list and what they needed me to learn
Uh-huh.
because they needed rhythm guitar and keys,
Uh-huh.
and I was like. I was DMing them about it, and I was DMing their guitarist, and he was like, "Shouldn't be anything like too hard, just like stuff that's easy." I'm like, "Great, I can like probably learn it the day before, whatever." And then he sends out a list, and like every song's easy, and then there's just Foreplay by Boston,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if you know, but like the beginning of that track on
Uh-huh.
keys, like it's a beast.
Yep.
Definitely something that I had to like sit down and
Yeah.
like get the muscle memory for. I literally at the gig, and there's like a funny video of this. At the gig, some guy in the audience goes like, "Go Ethan," because they shouted out my name. They're like, "Oh, Ethan's gonna hop on stuff." And this guy in the audience goes, "Go Ethan!" And I literally like I do this. I just look at him, my eyes wide. I just go,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
on, like
Yeah.
fingers
Yeah.
crossed, and it happened, but it was just pure muscle memory because my brain was checked out. I was like, "There's no way I'm getting through that." And I did, so
Yeah. Does that
Ah,
happen? Does that happen often? The band I talked to last week, Isaiah Pugh, they just did a show and didn't have a guitarist, so their buddy came in and did the whole show with them
yeah,
as a guitar, and then I think that's it. So like now you're done with obviously if they ever need you again, you're all friends and what have you, and you can fill in. But like it's just a one temporary fill in spot is an
yeah,
interesting kind of community that musicians do for each other. Yeah.
yeah. Being a solo musician, even being like in a band, I feel like that kind of thing is still open for musicians. It's just that's a great way to gig. It's just and it
Network.
make
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's beautiful in music, like how much connection is needed. I
Uh-huh.
feel like you can't do everything like just by yourself. You need to have friends, people to talk to. I have a friend who's a producer that I'll talk to on like Discord calls, and I'll screen share music. I'm like, does this
Uh-huh.
mix sound all right, or am I going crazy? Like I
Yep.
literally do that just because it's something that like doing it by yourself is a very lonely process, and also like I think you get better results learning from others. I I mean, Berklee College of Music in
Mhm.
Boston.
Yep.
So there was a production program that I stayed there for a week for, and it was for the weekend. It was a music production, and then during the week it was electronic music production, which was
Okay.
just something that was like a bonus.
Yeah.
And it was a really fun experience. But it's so cool how many people from all over are doing totally different things, but can all like have a conversation about very similar things. And like I guess the
Right.
way I could put that is like there's all of us at a table, and there's a kid who's like a classical guitarist, and they're talking to somebody who made this Latin pop song, and then like I'm over here showing like, oh, I made a cover of like this Foo Fighters track, and I was like working on the guitar tone, like that kind of stuff. And it's just so cool to like there's so many people from all over the place,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like there's no like wrong answers when it comes to like art. There's nobody's like better. It's just different,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
you learn from other
Yeah.
people. It's like you hear this Latin pop track, and I'm like, wow, that's like an amazing way to like EQ a kick drum, and then I
Yep.
like steal that for something
Right.
I'm doing. Like that's
Right.
so cool,
Yeah. It doesn't matter who or what instrument they play, what artist you're talking to, what generation they're from. There's always someone always does something different or has this technique or does this or just turns this knob. And now you've got a sound that will continue for your whole career, future generations that then you pass down, you tweak it like a family recipe. But like it's just music, right? Yeah, it's fascinating. So you've kind of tapped in. It's smart on you tapping into that kind of that networking, that in person kind of social aspect to it. is impressive. All right. So over COVID, that's when you said you really started posting on social? Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the looks of it, your focus, I'm assuming, is your almost 50,000 Instagram followers. Was that, how's that journey been? Fun, I'm assuming?
Crazy. I didn't expect like any of like the first covers I did to like do super well. I feel like
Mhm.
it's so easy on the internet for like I've seen some of the most talented people 1,000 times better than me. Like
Right.
not even like close and like like 4 likes. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
like, how is that?
yeah,
Like you put so much time and out. Like it's
yeah.
and I always make sure like on those kind of videos, especially if it's something that I'm like, what? I like comment. I'm just like, this is nuts, dude. Like,
Good.
keep going at
Wow.
it. Like I just gotta be encouraging because it's like, holy cow, like there's so many talented people on the internet that give that. And I don't know what I do, I guess just resonates with some people, like just being able to play a bunch of stuff and put it all together. I feel like the one man band thing, I even started like a hashtag like one man band.
Mhm.
And it's like I'm not actually a one man band, but I'm like a digital one man
Sure.
band. But it's
No,
everything I love doing. It's like
yeah.
playing all the instruments and mixing and producing and either replicating or paying tribute to and that kind of stuff. And I feel like originals have been more of like a me project before I actually end up maybe and I don't know exactly. I don't have like a set date as to when I want to drop them, but
Uh-huh.
I just have been working on them, and I think these covers are really helping me learn the DAW, learn like the instruments, even like what I can do with them, and like what my sound is.
Mhm.
And while I'm harnessing that, I'm posting these covers, and it's just
Mhm.
something I can, it's something that people love, and covers just resonate with anyone
Yeah.
because like it's something people already love.
Right. It's already there. The audience is baked in. So, okay. So no original music yet, right? Is that
Yes,
okay?
nothing out
Okay.
currently now.
Okay. But we're working on it. Maybe potentially something dropping this year. Maybe potentially we'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. And so covers are getting us through. Can you explain the process
Oh yeah.
of planning, editing, and putting together a video of you playing four or more instruments,
Yeah.
singing, all of that? I mean, I know how it works, but some of the people at home, just explain that process and some of the challenges you might have faced
I
putting these
so want to
together.
talk about
Yeah,
I
go.
so want to talk about this. This is literally like I've been because I feel like I wanted to release a YouTube video on this and I never got
Yeah,
around to it.
do it.
But
This is
that's like
it.
probably my most commented thing on videos is like, how are you doing this? Like, what is this? So yeah, I mean, I guess now if I actually have an answer to that question, no, I plug in. So I have it was like maybe last year I got a MacBook,
Yep.
which is like my favorite thing in the whole world because it's a computer that is so powerful and like does it's so good for music. Like I mean, and obviously there are Windows computer and music producers and creators that are super good too.
Yep.
And I guess it just depends on whatever works for you. Mac works great for me. I love like being an iPhone user. I've fallen into the trap of the Apple ecosystem. I started on Samsung, and then when I got one Apple device, it just
It's all over.
Apple
It's
Watch and the
all
whole
over. It's just it's a
they've sucked me
drug.
in.
It's a
I
drug.
got
It's
my
over.
parents into it. They switched from
Well,
Samsung. Yeah, it's
yeah, that
crazy.
happens. That happens.
Yeah, that happens.
Yep.
They want to FaceTime me in college. That's what it is. But anyways, so how I do it is I have an interface, a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20.
Mhm.
And I have that device plugged into my computer. And basically, I mean, I don't know. For those of you who do not know what an interface is, it's just a device to convert like an analog signal into something digital into a computer, so that like the computer can read my guitar's
You can
cable or
you can
my
plug in
synth's
in
cable.
your guitar, your keyboard,
Mhm.
your drums
My
to the
microphones, yeah.
computer. Right. Yep. Yep.
Exactly. And what I do is I use Logic Pro. That's my DAW of choice. I love it because it's so it's like I started on GarageBand and I feel like I've
Mm-hmm.
gone through many DAWs. I've
Yes.
used like Ableton, I've used FL, I've tried a bunch, and I
Sure.
feel like Logic is the most like GarageBand.
Yeah.
It's like a premium GarageBand, and I love it for that
Well,
because I loved GarageBand for that.
back in my day, okay,
Yes.
we were making music on a fun little program called Windows Movie Maker that was not in any way an audio editing
Yeah.
program or had any business of being that of such. But we by God, we layered the audio tracks with
Oh
the
yeah.
instrumental over top of it, the YouTube instrumental that we ripped off of whatever downloader site we could find. And it was, yeah, that was, no,
You got to do what you got to do.
we've all started in a garage band, Windows Movie Maker type of situation. Of course,
For
of
sure.
course.
Yes. No. You got to do what you got to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I currently use that.
Yep.
And I have a little extra bunch of preamps that get all my drum mics in, which I have. It's like there's a $100 drum mic pack. I think around there. By Behringer,
Okay.
and it literally just has everything you need. And I happen to have an SM, just a SM57 lying around that I use for the snare mic because like gotta love that snare.
Yep.
And so I normally when I start a cover, I'll listen to the original. I'll go like, and covers, honestly, I've been picking on based off of either comment sections, what's trending, or something that I like really just want to like. I'm like, this would be a fun song to do.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of all of those things.
Yep.
But I always try to listen for like what people want to hear because I think people are like disregarding comments kind of defeats the point of posting for other people. I feel like, so yeah, I always make sure to like check what people are looking for next for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll pick the song, I'll pick the tempo, either like looking up what the song's original tempo is or just like this feels right. And then I'll start playing the drum beat. And it, like, especially with like that, I definitely will use YouTube for certain things in a song if I'm like, I can't figure this out, or like, because I'm keyboardist first. That's like singing and keyboard first,
Okay.
and everything else is kind of something I've taught myself or like taken like a week of lessons on. For guitar, I took like a couple of weeks of lessons, but that's about it. Like most stuff I've kind of taught myself, and drums I'm definitely self-taught. So just something I use YouTube for, and I'll look up like the drum beat, and if it's like boom boom crap boom 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 crap, and then I'll get that going, and I'll set the tempo, put my headphones on, press the record, and I have this like TV in my basement that's on like it's on like a little thing that moves.
Yeah.
So I just literally just over to my basement like studio thing.
Yeah.
And that angle, I can look at it from the drums. So like while I'm recording, I can see like what's happening on the screen. And I have this Logitech keyboard that I'll use to pause and start the song.
Yep.
So yeah, and anyways, I record the drums, then I'll go over to my keys, I'll record that.
Yep.
And I always film videos because I think one thing people kind of ask a lot is the video that you're seeing and the audio you're hearing, is that live? And for like everything I do, it is, because they're short. I do short segments of songs. I do like a minute 30, sometimes a minute, and like that kind of thing. Like I just play it live, and I press record on the video and the audio while I'm tracking it. But
okay. And then do you then you put it together in post?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So wait
a minute. So you're not just like you just don't like learn the instrumental, record, put it all together, bounce the track. Now you have your cover, and then you don't just go back and like dub over. Obviously you'll do it live, but then like sync the video with the completed audio. You're recording each one live. That's the video we're seeing in the final product. And then in post, you're putting all of that together.
For like mostly everything, yes. There's occasionally the time a drum fill, I'm like, okay, I got to punch that back in, so I just record the video. But what you end up seeing is like that. Also, sometimes I go upstairs to dub over vocals. Like I'll use my basement microphone, and then I'll like, okay, this needs to sound bigger, or like this needs a double. So I'll like do 2 more on this microphone because I love this microphone.
If we need editing in post, we make edits in post. But okay,
and I'll add layers and things. Like I'll be like, oh, there's a synth lead, but it doesn't need a video for it. Like it's a synth pad. Like nobody cares to see it.
Wow.
But all of those are like live. Especially the drum parts are always like just drum, bass, and guitar and keys are always like one take normally. My guess would have been like straight up like music video vibes. Like you do the song, you edit it, like it's audio, edit it, put it out. Changing what I said, not one take. Well, keys most of the time one take, but like drums, sometimes it's like 15, 30.
Sure, but you're doing it without the final product. Like that's like you can't like in history I think of ever, like I don't think a band or musician has ever filmed the music video while they're making the song or without the song already done. So your music video is creating the song.
maybe I'm just too lazy and I don't want to go back and film more,
No,
but that's
no,
kind
I
of the
don't think
process for me.
I don't think that's lazy at all. I think
Yeah.
if I think that to me it feels like more work.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank you.
feel yeah, no, it's impressive. Like that's
Thank
because
you.
you don't have obviously all the pieces to the puzzle. You just got to get to them. But like, I think yeah, okay, wow, okay, so
Yeah. So that's kind of, and then I record all the instruments, I sing it, and then once I have everything recorded, I'm like, there's nothing else I need. I actually go to this room, which is not seen much in the videos. I don't think I've ever been in this room, but and I will literally just sit down. I have 2 monitors here, and I'll mix it.
Yeah.
And my headphones.
Cool. That's so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, hats off to you. I wouldn't have assumed that. Just seeing a 4 or 5 different outfits, each individual instrument, I would have assumed that the song was done. You did that first, and then this is just the music video aspect of it. And
But a lot of people do. I do see that comment.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what like 99.9% of everyone does. I think you might be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it was even like a jump cover I did with this other talented musician named Nick Valley, and I recorded like the drum part and the other thing. I think what I did is I first recorded it, but I was like I could do better, so I just sent him like a little demo to the tempo of like this is the instruments. I'm gonna re-record mine though, and I sent him that. He recorded all his bits. He sent it back to me, and he sent like the video and and then I just pressed record. I played the drum part all the way through, and that was a challenge because I did do it that same way. And I still didn't like record the video afterwards. I recorded the video while I was playing the drum part, and I had to play the full song because that was a full cover. So that was different and definitely a challenge.
If you would have stopped, it wouldn't have been in sync. And then
and then you just it's crazy. Now I do realize that does sound a little crazy out loud, but like it works for me.
Aren't
which is
all of
fun.
the greatest musicians just a little?
Just a little, just a little bit.
Well, no, that's. I mean, hey, hats off to you. There's a reason it's working. There's a reason you have 1,000+ comments on these videos. There's a reason you have thousands and thousands and thousands of likes.
Thank you.
You'd mentioned the comments. How are we dealing with the hate? Are we dealing with the negative comments in any way? We're just ignoring those, right? We're not reading those.
Yeah, I'd say comments are something that, like, as a creator, it doesn't, like, people always, I think, especially starting out, it's so easy to take it to heart.
Yeah.
But it's like, I saw a video of, like, Adam Levine from Maroon 5, and, like, the whole comment section is like, this guy can't sing, he stinks as a performer, and I never liked his voice anyways. And you're like, it's like, if Adam Levine gets hate, everyone gets hate. Like it's it's a thing.
It's fun.
Like people don't hate on I feel like the greats like Freddie Mercury, but it's like if Freddie Mercury was alive today and posting on social media,
there would be hate on his YouTube.
Maybe there'd be hate. Like it's crazy how that works, but it's like it's just the state of the internet. So I take everything with a grain of salt. I try to make the like if somebody is like, oh, the drum part's off, I sometimes comment back. I'll be like, yeah, it is. Sorry.
I think it was well, and that's that I've been with my personal podcast I've been doing for like 4.5 years now. Every other comment is a negative one, whether it just pertains to me, my set, my voice, the topics, my takes, whatever, literally everything. And now I write back. I write back like it's no one's business, not defending myself, but praising them for being such an intellectual human being to write this type of comment. Like,
crazy.
Because it's just,
how much work it goes into that. It's not like somebody in my video was like, your watch dings because the sound you're playing is too loud. How did you catch that? Like what?
It's the personal attacks on social media are fun. And I love to hit them with sarcasm. It's My biggest criticism online has always been my voice. It's like the number one comment I get at least twice a week is that your real voice? I thought it was fake. I thought this was AI, whatever. And now, because of just, I don't know, I could give two shits, whatever, dude. It's my voice. I can't do anything about this. Like, you shut up, like, whatever. And now I have a subset of the internet convinced that when I was 14 years old, there was a freak helium accident. I ingested too much. Surgery, doctor visits, professionals. This is the best they could do.
That's your response
and
to it?
My voice is stuck like that. 100%.
You're legendary.
100%.
Legendary.
And it's all based on a true story. When I was like 13, 14, my neighbor was in charge of running the community carnival or whatever that year. And we had access to a helium tank. And I got a hold of one of those big punch-em balloons that you can fill up that's like this big. Well, I filled one of those up with helium and ingested the whole thing. I was fine. I was a little fuzzy for a few minutes, but I was fine. And so now I just tell people that's what happened and there's surgeries involved. Sure. I'm super self-conscious about it. Like, shut up. It's so much fun to me because then that creates even more content for me to talk about next week. Like, hey, shout out to Joe for this idiotic comment. Like, go get it. Like, it's so fun. It's so fun.
It is. And I think that's definitely a great way to think about it, for sure.
That's engagement, my guy. That's one more comment that the algorithm loves and will push this video. So thank you. I thank the haters because it's like, bro, if it wasn't for you, my views wouldn't be up. So let's keep it coming. What else you got?
Yeah.
Like
I love your perspective on it, dude. That's great.
I can't. I read and respond to every comment with the most entertainment value that I can possibly give. It's so much.
I do if I have the time. I feel like that's the thing. I do get a lot of comments, so I'm like,
of course.
If I have the time to do so, but I do like the smart aleck approach. There was one guy that was like, lift some weights, man, and then I was just like, thanks, I'm hitting the gym next video. Like,
well, and it's
so
like,
funny.
See, you don't have the time because you get thousands of comments at a time. I do because I get upwards of 1 to 3. So I naturally like to respond to those. But at the end of the day, no, it's a fun ride. You're young. Are you into rock and roll? Are you into Youngblood at all? I've been trying to find someone to talk to me about this guy, but I'm not sure. Are we Ozzy fans? Youngblood?
So he the Black Sabbath stuff. That's
So Ozzy Osbourne passed away and essentially like passed the torch to Youngblood, and now he's like the kind of taking over as like the next generation of rock star. He's
I think he's a killer performer.
Yeah, I love it.
I think he's a great guy. Yeah,
I couldn't name a song. I couldn't name a song of his. I don't know any songs. I just from what I've seen on TikTok, I love his personality. I love his freedom. I think he's got the chops. But okay, favorite.
Yeah, no, I'd say from what I know about Youngblood, is he. Yeah, he really does give such a good energy for what he makes and what his genre is and what he's trying to go for.
Yeah.
And I think, he's definitely keeping that like rock and roll alive with his powerful voice and stuff. And I think like he does get a lot of praise. I think he got a lot of hate at first.
Yeah. Well, again, another
thing,
another Disney actor to
was he?
To artist. Yes. Yeah. He was.
I didn't know that.
Disney UK. We don't see a lot of that over here, but part of Disney UK actor. He did it. He did his first preteen teen pop album that was okay, and then as soon as he hit the age, and now he's got his shirt off.
He's going through changes.
A rock star. Right. Favorite band, favorite artist. What's on the playlist? Who are you listening to?
All right. Yeah, so I listen to like I said, like a lot of indie alt rock. I love the Strokes. I love the Strokes so much. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
I love my dad obviously with the Beatles. I think that stuck with me, and like who doesn't? I mean, well, I don't know. There might be somebody, but like who doesn't love the Beatles? They're amazing. Of course. And then I love, I think Dayglow is another artist that I really like. He's like an indie pop artist, like does rock too. But he's so cool, and he makes all of his music like in his bedroom with one guitar and an interface, and everything like stock Logic Pro. And he has songs that like one of his songs is like almost 1 billion streams. It's like insane. What you can do now, like in
your bedroom. Yep.
Exactly, and that's what's so inspiring to me is like anyone can do anything with like there's no limits with like creativity. You just got to keep pushing for it. Like I think that's what I love doing too is like sharing on the internet And I know I'll get a comment from somebody that's like, oh, I went and started learning this song on guitar because of your video, and it's like that's so amazing. Like
it's
that's
yeah.
you got to encourage that. Like that's beautiful
You
that people can create art in their
yeah,
language.
you as young as you are have obviously kind of cracked that code of like every artist in central Pennsylvania, Lancaster, York, Harrisburg, whatever, every artist would kill for 1,000+ comments on a video, 1,000+ likes on a video, 50,000 followers on Instagram, people interacting and listening to their music, much like they are with you. And at the end of the day, the only reason they're not is because they're not posting because of whatever Fred and Wilma think, or their friends, or their mom, or their dad, or their coworkers,
Yeah,
or it's the same, especially with my generation. Maybe not yours because you guys are posting nonstop, but at least with my generation, the excuse among musicians is, "Oh, I'm working on it. I'm gonna put it out soon. I'm gonna put it out soon." And then a
yeah,
year and a half goes by, and it's like, well, here's 2 singles, and it's like you like it takes 20 minutes. You could have had a whole album last month. You could do an album a month. Tell me you can't. Like you can do like it's not like it's not as difficult as it seems to be. But these these artists and these musicians locally that have been doing it for 10+ years, it's like, okay, well,
you know,
what have you put out? Because this
yeah,
kid's recording every single instrument with every single riff, putting it together in post in his bedroom, and you're upset. Why? Because all you have is an iPhone? Like,
yeah.
shut up and do it. Shut up.
I
It's yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think it is something that like, but it's like people. I think another thing is people kind of like get in their heads about like what you need to
yeah,
like create all this stuff.
yeah.
Like yeah, I don't have all the equipment. I don't got all the fancy gizmos and gadgets. And it's like honestly, you don't always need. Some of my early covers, I think the first one of the first covers I actually made was a Strokes cover of the song Last Night,
Yep.
and I made that in this room with that guitar and Ableton and a bunch of stock plugins. I barely even know what I was doing,
Hmm.
and I recorded everything, and that was a video that I did record the instruments like dubbed along to
Yeah,
what I already pre-made.
yeah.
Um, but I was just because I was like just trying. I was trying the concept of like what would a music video look like, if I filmed everything myself and
Yep.
did everything myself.
No, you've
um,
you've certainly got it figured out.
yeah, and I mean now I've tried to, and I've tried to even like I'm so particular with certain things now. I feel like I've never like got diagnosed with OCD, but I have I like I I swear I have it for like certain things, especially this. My videos like have to be. I try to make a lot of like I try to make all of them blue now because I was like trying to pick colors, and
Okay.
like I'm like I like my profile picture being blue. I love the color blue, so I was like, let me just make everything blue. So
Right.
now I have blue background lights,
Yep.
and I like angle the lights on the side a certain way so that the background's only blue. And I
Mhm.
found out that works. Like people with I did that for you too, and people saw that video and it got like 500,000 views on
Yep.
Instagram, and I was
Yep.
like, whoa, like people like the solid background, like this is, so I'm sticking with it.
Yep.
Something I
And that's
yeah,
just that is a so where are you where did you where did you get all this? Are you a
yeah,
Gary V kid? Where all this just didn't pop into your head? You fixing the background, noticing getting more views, and now that's your shtick. That's a pro level marketing move that someone your age
boom,
shouldn't know about, you know?
yeah, yeah.
What's your do you watch anybody? What's that like for you?
So yeah, I think that is definitely a big way to learn is like look on the internet and
Hmm.
find like what people you like are doing and like how they're doing it. But for sure, I think I've learned from people that I aspire to look at. I also think that sometimes people are like, how are they doing this?
Yep.
And you kind of got to break it down yourself even. Like you see a
Right.
video online, you're like, I love this product. So then I look at the video and I'm like, wait, they're using this. They cut every. I also do this. I always cut every single beat. Like when the song, like if it's going like, say the song Last Night, and it's like dun 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 dun, but last night, I'll like on the word night, I'll put a marker on. I use CapCut to edit my videos because
Yep.
it's free.
Yep.
And I put a marker there, and I'll split all the videos down the middle,
Yep.
and then I'll delete like certain things, and then I'll like either do two things. I either have a single frame of like just me playing one instrument, or I'll have the frame of like two instruments side by side, or I'll have the one in the center and all the other ones around. But
Yeah.
those are like just patterns I stick to, and consistency is key.
Yes,
Like
sir.
literally, that is such a powerful thing when you're like, consistency in both posting, which I still have to work at. I think maybe this
Mhm.
summer I'll get a little better at that.
Everyone does.
But
Yep.
also, consistency is key in like what you're doing, not only like how you're like what you're putting out, but like what you're doing in the process,
Yeah.
like what instruments I'm using, what sounds I'm using, um, how loud I'm making it. Like literally, I nitpick everything, and I'm my own worst enemy. Like
Yep.
sometimes I'll show my parents something, and I'll be like, "Hey, is this good?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, this is great. Post it." I'm like, "I
They
don't think it's
have
good."
to say that, right?
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
get in
It's
your
like you guys
head,
just
it's just mom, right?
that's just you
Yeah,
guys. So
yeah,
then I'm like
yeah.
showing like my girlfriend, or
Yep.
I'm showing like my friends from school, like
Yep.
literally anyone. I'm just like,
Yep.
is this good? Like I
Yep.
have to ask everybody.
Well,
My
and then right.
principal, is
Yeah.
this good?
Yep. And then it's like, oh my gosh, Ethan, it's like the 12th song this month. Yes, you're
Exactly.
talented.
Yeah.
It sounds great, babe. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
actually. So we have this year in my school we have the Yonder pouches. I don't know if you ever heard of those. They're like the
Oh, they lock up your
yeah. They lock up the
phones?
phones.
Nice. What, just
You
during
right?
English class or like what?
Yeah. No, it's like the whole day.
Oh, the whole day. So it's
But here's the thing. They give us iPads,
right,
which
right.
is like
Yeah.
I don't know, and hope
S-
my school's not watching, but
Yeah.
like
So you
I feel like that's kind of the same
are
thing.
you guys are chatting on like Google Docs with each other all
Oh
day?
yeah.
Like
Oh, you know
community
it. Yeah.
Google Doc.
But
Oh,
what I
that's
end up doing is I end up rendering out the songs, like bouncing them out and bouncing out the videos,
yeah.
and then I'll put it onto Google Drive,
Yep.
get it on my school
Yep.
iPad, and
Yep.
now I'm showing teachers and friends and everybody
Yep.
on my school
Right, right,
iPad.
right, 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 right,
It's
right. And they
like
don't think twice about it. They're
crazy.
like, wait a minute, how did you get this on the
Get
school?
this? No,
Yeah, they,
no. I think
bro,
people are like, it was supposed to be the super strict, but I think people are kind of loosey goosey with it, and it's
it's
like I
so
like the
funny.
idea. I don't know. I'm gone in a year. It's fine.
Right. And so all day, right, interesting. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So when we were in high school, when I first started high school, it was 2006. And the first iPhone didn't come out till 2007. So all through my high school experience, like smartphones were at like senior year, maybe if you were lucky enough, but like
Yeah.
flip phones and slide ups and like unlimited texting was the most we had on our plans. Like data
Yeah.
wasn't too, it was still new. And
Hmm.
so they didn't lock up our phones, but they locked down our internet. And so we had MySpace back in the day. And what we did to get around that was there were these things called proxy servers. And it would essentially we would just put in the URL myspace.com and it would reroute the traffic through someone else's server over in Russia somewhere, probably giving them all of our information at the time. And then it would load in MySpace from that server so the school wouldn't notice the block. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and
The things you do to like get
yeah.
past that for sure.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, there was a time where apps weren't a thing yet. And to go to a mobile version of a website, you had to go to m.dot. So m.facebook.com to load the mobile version because it wasn't just all in one. And that wasn't blocked for the longest time. So we were all just on m.facebook.com on our school laptops, like talking to each other, having a grand old time. And obviously they caught on, and I'm sure they will with the iPads too.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. It's so fun getting around the school and the
Yeah,
tech.
it's crazy. There's this kid I know that's like 10, 11 years old, and he like I was like talking to him. He has an iPhone,
Yeah.
and like he FaceTimes his friends, and he was today like I was doing something at school, and
Yep.
he like called I was doing something for my school. We didn't actually have school today because
Yeah.
holiday.
Yeah.
But he was there, and I was talking to him, and he called Mamma Mia's pizza place, ordered a pizza, and then was like, "Hey, can we go pick this up?" I'm like, "You're 11." I had to
11,
like
right.
call my friend on my Wii U. Like I crazy.
I had to communicate with my friends on a Wii U. You don't know the challenges, right?
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
we it's the technology, especially your parents are going to have the conversation. You're going to say yes, they're going to say no. You're going to have to get chipped. By the time you're my age, I guarantee you're going to be talking to your parents about whether or not you get chipped or not. And it's like,
Oh yeah,
like the Neuralink is coming. Like we're all going to have instant
happening.
access to everything. You're just going to be able to think a text and then your parents will get it. Like
Yeah,
it's such a fun ride. Our generation's claim to fame is we've lived life before the internet, during the internet, and what's most likely probably coming, aka after the internet. So
yeah,
it's so fun to see the shift in society. Um, okay, let's talk about you're nominated for an award that's coming up, and that award is Best
yeah.
Youth Artist
Youth artist.
at
Yeah.
the Central Pennsylvania Music Awards, Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame. We just talked to Brandon last week.
Hmm.
Are you attending the award show?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, we'll hopefully see you there. I'll be there as well, I
Hmm.
believe. Okay. Do you know anyone else you're nominated with? Any other contenders? Anyone you're nervous about, or do we have this win in the bag? What's our thought process?
I mean, I'm honored to even be nominated. I
Yeah,
feel like that's something that I like. There's people that are, uh, touring. I don't know like an insane amount of these other people. I'm be happy to meet them when I'm there.
of course.
But I'm not like I feel like in my opinion, music and art in general is not like even theater isn't like fully a competition, you
Yeah,
know? And I think it's just kind of like and in this scenario, like I'm not looking at it as like I need to win. I'm looking at it as like I'm like happy to be here.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun to just be there. I've attended the CPMAs before in the past, like with bands and stuff, and it's a great ceremony,
Mhm.
and it's you get to meet a lot of people, and again, connections is so huge, so like that'll be really fun. I mean, sure we'll meet up there, like
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is
absolutely,
great.
absolutely.
Um,
I think I'll
yeah,
probably be on the red carpet interviewing people and artists. I think there's a
yeah,
media kind of situation.
for sure. So
Okay.
yeah, that'll be cool. I'm excited to like meet other people in the local area. I think it's always cool to see who else is like here because there's so much talent like in Pennsylvania
Yeah,
with music
yeah,
all
yeah.
over and like it's you got like you got Pennsylvania with like country and you got some people who do like art. There's a lot of I've noticed a lot of especially I have a friend who like loves the local music scene and does a lot of I've noticed a lot of like screamo and like at the local music scene and stuff. There's like definitely a lot of that and like heavier stuff.
There's
Um,
so many. I know I can name some. I can name people in a screamo band. I can name off the hand country artists, pop
yeah,
artists, cover artists, just every the Central Pennsylvania. And I get part of the reason why I think Brandon and company made the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame is because it just this state has such this rich history of producing artists, whether they started on the Disney Channel or not. I mean, we've got Bret Michaels, we've got Taylor Swift, Sabrina
literally, yeah.
Carpenter, we've got Hailstorm. There's so many that I'm totally missing, but it's like is Lady Gaga maybe from PA potentially? I'm
Maybe I
not
think she
sure.
graduated at my
Lancaster
sister's school,
somewhere,
so
yeah, something like that. So like it's just it's such a
yeah.
hotbed for like don't knock it because you know what I mean. We all my claim to fame is like 10, 15, however many years ago. Me and my family stood and watched Taylor Swift play the acoustic guitar. She didn't have an album. She didn't have a band. It was just her on stage at the York Fair, some froggy 103.3 free stage, just to get her
Yeah.
name out there. And now
Yeah.
is arguably, depending on who you ask, bigger than Michael Jackson. And it's like at the end of the day, where we like
No,
that's
it's
Pennsylvania.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
literally. There was a stage I played at Knoebels before,
Yeah.
like the Knoebels stage.
Hell yeah.
She's played. There's a video on YouTube of her playing there. It's like
Okay. You've
what?
shared the stage. Yeah,
Literally, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I've walked where she has.
It's
Yeah,
not so. Okay,
mhm,
well,
for sure.
good luck. We definitely submitted our fair share of votes for you and said
Yes.
category. Fingers crossed. Do you have an acceptance speech prepared? Have we thought about that at all?
Yeah, I just like I'll do like the Grammy like Oscar thing, just like
My
the
agent,
I
my
like to
mom.
thank my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I definitely think it might be a little off the I feel like with me, I kind of like even for today, like I kind of was just like I'm gonna go off what I
Yeah.
like I feel like I've done enough like
Yep.
theater improv stuff to kind of have stuff prepared. And I kind of think, especially in music, I've learned from years of well, not like crazy amount of I'm young, but like from the years I have been doing it,
Yeah.
I've learned that it's best to be honest.
It's
So just kind of
a
like I just kind of want I would be if I did win, I'd be super grateful,
yep.
and that's probably what my speech would end up sounding like.
You have a very I think your parents ultimately making that decision to send you on tour when you were what 10 or whatever. I think that was probably one of the smartest things they probably could have done, which has obviously ultimately led you here today in the sense that you've got most things figured out as far as talent, how the world works, how to make money, how to do what it is you're doing
Room
at
to
just
improve, but
at 18
yeah.
years old. Well, of course there's always room to improve. I mean, look, I don't, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm not done yet. I still have goals and I set myself to 40. I've got 8 years left. By the time I'm 40, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and we're on our way. So, I mean, by all means, you'll go through 18 more transitions in your life, but that will only make you better. But as far as being 18 now compared to a lot of other 18-year-olds, especially in where we're from, it's night and day. I mean, like I said, I would imagine that most 18-year-olds, especially even in your school or even in surroundings, would kill for upwards of 10,000 Instagram followers. They're struggling just to get 300. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's not saying that that's the end all be all, but like we're all in this social media thing, and why are you
Yeah.
posting? Is it for your cousin to read or is it for likes? So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you're getting them and you know how, and that knowledge is it's gonna take you far. And
Well, thank
so
you. Yeah.
I can't yeah, I can't wait. Did you also win? Did they announce a spot award? Did you win something else? Is that
Yes, that
yeah.
was also out of left field. I mean, I don't know. This I love the CBMAs.
Uh-huh.
They gave me a spot award for I think it was a best youth male cover artist, or I think it was.
Gangster.
That was just like that was awesome. That was amazing. I was like that was really cool.
It
Um,
it speaks for itself. You know what I mean? At the
yeah,
end of the day, there's a reason these things are happening. There's a reason you're nominated. There's a reason for the audience and the
yeah.
interaction and the retention.
I did have to explain
Um,
a couple of my friends though, because they were like, "Oh my God, I know." They were like, "I voted for you," and I'm like, "That's a different thing."
right,
I was
right,
like,
yeah.
I was like, "Well, wait," but like, also thank you.
It's okay. Potentially a double win. I mean,
Yeah,
most artists or bands or musicians are your might not even win, let alone once, let alone twice, let alone you've been nominated in years past. So, just hats off to you and everything you're doing.
thank you.
Have you
Yeah.
ever considered or actually participated in any form of like audition, like America's Got Talent, The Voice, anything like reality TV type of stuff there?
Yeah, once I when I was younger, I did the song, this is song "Stitches" by Shawn Mendes. I think for an AGT like Zoom audition.
Yeah, did a Zoom okay, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Did anything come from that? No. I when I was out of high school and into college, I was doing magic professionally,
Oh
and
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, that was it was a fun time, and obviously AGT was a part of that. I auditioned twice. Both times were essentially the same experience. It was in person, and so it was basically us going to some like rundown, non-in-use college in upstate New York, and we did our act in front of like literally a classroom full of other talented people. They would call us back in like chunks of 30, and then some young hot shit 20-year-old producer would judge us. And if we were good enough and wowed that random person that had nothing to do with the show, then we were passed on to the next person, then eventually you end up on live TV. But it was just a day experience. Obviously nothing came from it for me either, but yeah, an experience nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe again, maybe voice or something more singing related. We can
Yeah.
maybe we'll see you on in the near future.
Well,
Um,
yeah, if I do ever, even in college, like just consider, going for one of those. We'll see what happens.
yeah, plans for college. Do you have that squared away?
Yeah, I've applied to everywhere I wanted to at the current moment.
Yep.
I'm waiting to hear back from one. NYU is the one I'm waiting to hear back from. But I got into three schools that I out of the four I applied for, which is really sick, and
Wow.
I'm excited to. So yeah, I definitely am kind of like at a point in school and like in my life where I'm just kind of like at a standstill. Like I know I have a future and like a place that I can go.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
and
awesome.
will do what I want, like
Good for you.
get the career I want. So that's gonna be
That's awesome.
exciting.
What is that? I know I said last question 4 questions ago, but now I'm just
This
even
is
more
okay. No, you
curious.
know what?
What
This
is
is fun.
that?
I'm having a blast with this.
What is
So
that dream for you then? Is that the college degree with a steady career and making music on the side, or are you going for music or
great.
entertainment
No,
or
that's a great
theater?
question.
What's the move?
So I kind of always said when I was younger, when I was actually first career I ever wanted was I was like I wanted to be an inventor because I wanted to invent a way to become a superhero. That
Hmm,
was something that was on my.
of
And then when I
course.
was then a teacher in third grade was like that's not a real dream, and then my dreams were crushed. So then, but anyways, what happened? So what I ended up recently, or not recently, I would say like a while ago, probably since COVID.
Yeah.
Um, and like around when I started picking up that whole music and gigging and like basically the music bug, I, as I said, I've started with GarageBand, and make like really bad beats and like random stuff. But just anything. I used to like do this fun thing with friends. Actually, favorite thing I think favorite piece of art I've ever made. Not actually, not that's not true. But favorite piece of art I've ever made on my phone was a beat sampled from like a Latin textbook. Where my friend and I literally just sampled like the Latin textbook closing and then like him hitting his water bottle. And we made a whole song out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a free period during
Yep.
class, and it
Yep.
was the coolest thing ever. And we were just making a whole song out of it, and I was just able to do it on my phone. It was so cool. And I literally was like, I just think I've started thinking about like what do I want to do for a career that because I want to make sure whatever it is,
Hmm.
and since I wanted to be an inventor and become a superhero, I always said whatever career I end up with, I want it to be fun and something that I enjoy doing.
Yep.
So right now, and I hopefully think forever, that's music.
Yep.
It's like I can't live without it. Like I love everything about it. I love breaking down songs. I love like
Yep.
listening to a song and picking out the details no one else would ever care about. And because of that production thing that I started, it grew, and I've obviously tried to harness my skills a little bit with social media and all that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's something that would allow me to create my own art. I could produce for bands. I
Yep.
can score for video games, TV, commercials. I can do live sound. Like it gives me option. It gives me like options to do absolutely everything in music, and I love music. So being able to do everything is like kind of a dream come true. So I really I've applied for schools that actually have it. That's also it was like a college fair, and I was looking for this major, and there was like three colleges
Right.
with it out of the 200.
Hmm.
But music production or music technology or
Yep.
music production and engineering, they
Yep.
all call it something different, but it's that's kind of the major that I'm applying for. And it's something that I'm like really excited because it's the sound science. It's like it's the creating the music. And
Hmm.
I always also made sure the schools I apply to have good music programs outside of just this technology because I want to. What my goal is out of college is to get to perform, meet people, create art together, and also become a better musician, like learn the scales and like the musical theory terms and get better at my skills in that. And also
Yep.
learn the sound science of mixing and like how to, process audio and make things sound the best it can and also be creative and have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm going to whether this podcast exists or not. I'm gonna put a note in my calendar. I'm gonna talk to you again in 4 years, and we're gonna see. I want to know where you're at and what you're doing in your senior year of college because I think that's
Yeah.
going to be, especially. I mean, if you end up in NYU, I mean, just the New York City life is going to be 50% of your experience, and then obviously college for the other half. But yeah,
the other school that I definitely think I'm really excited for that I did end up getting into was Berklee College of Music in Boston, which I love the city of Boston.
Right, of course, which is the same thing. New York, Boston. Yeah, it's
any of those.
huge. Yeah. Okay. Well, dude, good luck, and like I said, I think you've got most of it figured out. You've got a solid path forward. And I think we'll see great things from you coming soon. So anything else you want to plug, promote? Obviously, we're going to have your Instagram link down below. Anything coming up or just anything you want to say before we hop off?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Instagram and all my other social medias, like, feel free to check those out. I love making content. And definitely more to come. I have exciting things that I've had in mind and stuff that I don't want to say too much about yet, but just like, there's always something to come, whether that's originals, covers, or bonus behind the scenes things, or just like creating music and stuff. So I think that it's going to be very music related and, pretty much what I've been doing, but just more stuff on that.
Awesome.
So I'm excited for all of that. And again, thank you for having me here. This has been an honor.
Absolutely. Like I said, we'll have everything for Ethan linked down in the description below, in the show notes, wherever you're watching or listening to this episode. Tone Tailors Podcast, another episode in the bag. Go to tonetailors.com, learn everything you need to know about us. Shop.tonetailors.com 24/7 for your guitars, accessories, microphones, pedals, anything you need. Online and in stock now. Shop.tonetailors.com. Until next time, Ethan, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I'm going to see you here in a few weeks. We'll chat in person. We'll have some fun at the award show. And definitely more to come. I want you back when you release your music. I want you back after college. This will be a lifelong friendship between you and I, friend. So until next time, thank you, sir. Peace out, everybody.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.